What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel, Kennedy here, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Today I'm going to be making vegan cheesecake while also doing something that I've never done before on this channel, a response video. So recently a lot has gone down in the vegan community if you do not stay up to date with all of the vegan happenings, but recently one of the major vegan fitness influencers just became an ex-vegan. So it's really big right now, it's raving in the vegan community, and I definitely want to give out my 2 cents on the topic as well, because I have done a little bit of deep diving into both Jon Venus and his wife. If I haven't already mentioned yet, today I will be responding to Jon Venus's I Am No Longer Vegan video that he just recently uploaded onto his YouTube channel along with his life update. So this is going to be very interesting. We're going to be making some vegan cheesecake as well as responding to this guy at the same time. So let's begin.
Here to tell you what is objectively right, what is wrong, and I'm not here to listen to your arguments and to your opinions either. I am just here to tell you guys this is my shift in perspective, my new life choice. The best way to start this is talking about when this whole question mark started coming into my life. I think this is a good way to start. So 2 years ago almost 2 years ago, I became a dad, a father. And when I'm not gonna speak for every parent out there, but for me especially, when I became a dad.
For those of you who do not know the family history of Jon Venus here, he has a brother who is a plant-based medical doctor. His brother actually made his own response video to Jon's video of no longer being vegan. Jon's wife is also a nutritionalist, so it's not like this guy is just off without any kind of guidance about a plant-based lifestyle or how to excel, thrive on a plant-based lifestyle. He has multiple resources all around him of people that can provide him with the science, with the research, with the data on a plant-based diet. I'm thinking that he's not listening to those people. That's why he's no longer vegan now, but I just want to preference that this man has people in his family that are well educated and well-rounded on how to excel and thrive on a plant-based diet.
And even before, when we were pregnant, a lot of, responsibility came into my life. A lot of difficult questions that I had to, answer. And I think we can all agree, or people who have looked into the scientific literature, we can agree that nutrition itself is a very confusing and not really understood topic. And it is,
For him to say that nutrition is not a topic that has been well researched or people are not well rounded on the topic of nutrition is kind of a slap in the face to his wife. Again, his wife is a vegan nutritionalist, plus there's plenty of science out there that provides non-biased information about how to excel on a plant-based diet. There's plenty of information. He's just not reading the right science, data, research. He's just not even interested in reading the right stuff.
So it becomes almost like you have to only look for answers and research that comes from people that is going to support your bias. And
absolutely not. What I think he's trying to say is when you are looking for something in the science and you have your own biases, you're going to go towards the science that reciprocates what it is that you're thinking. Like, say one day I want to get up and I want to look up a piece of science that says that eggs are healthy. Of course I'm going to run into the studies that say eggs are healthy, but it doesn't matter what those studies or what those articles say. You have to look at the actual peer-reviewed science on the matter from groups of medical professionals who are unbiased. Okay, they didn't receive any donations or sponsors. Okay, they're giving out information in the best interest of the people, like the American Dietetics Association, which Jon will bring up in a second.
Anything outside of pro-vegan becomes the opposite, right? So there is no neutral point of view that you can get to with this mindset. It's either vegan, pro-vegan, or it's anti-vegan and pro-meat eating and pro-murder.
Yeah, you're right. You're either against murder or you're for murder. There's no in between. You can't half kill someone. Okay, you either full on put the knife into their throat or you don't. Like, what are you talking about?
And death and these things. And this is the mindset that is, I was in that mindset myself, so I know that is the dominant mindset for a lot of people. And I understand it. It's really, really challenging to be objective and try to disprove certain things and challenge your own beliefs constantly. And unfortunately, as we know, and as I've talked to you guys about in podcasts and different things, I have never claimed that the science, proves that a vegan diet, 100% vegan diet is the best for optimal health, but I truly believe that.
Sir, just because you didn't say that a plant-based diet is the healthiest diet for human beings to be on doesn't mean it's not fact. You know how many things you probably haven't mentioned or touched on, John, in your life that are fact? Just because you haven't discovered it yet doesn't mean it's not fact. So I don't know why he's acting so high and mighty right now. He's just...
100% vegan diet is the best for optimal health, but I truly believed it for the last 4 years. I think the last year I've been questioning a lot of things, but for the...
If you've been questioning something for the past year that you are profiting off of, that you are making money off of, let's remind ourselves, this man is making money off of selling plant-based vegan nutrition plans, coaching, ebooks, recipe books. This man is profiting off of something that he's not even 100% sure about. That in and of itself is shady business. Don't profit off of something that you're not well-roundedly educated on. Don't do that. Don't do that. And that's one of my biggest problems with these fake vegan influencers that of course go ex-vegan, like Giovanna, Elise Parker, used to be Raw Alignment, now Jon Venus, Tim Sheaf, that they've all made thousands, maybe some of them even hundreds of thousands of selling books and recipe books and meal planning and nutrition coaching for something that they really didn't even believe in themselves. They were profiting off of people who actually trusted them to go out, do the research, and then bring back something of value that can help them in their own lives. These people were profiting off of it. That I totally have an issue with. I have a total issue with that.
Vast majority of the time that I was vegan, I really actually believed that it was optimal for human health because that is what we're being sold. Big organizations like the American Dietetics Association.
Oh my God, seriously? Big organizations like the American Dietetics Association. So those of you who are not fully familiar with the science, the American Dietetics and Nutrition Association are a group of unbiased researchers, scientists, nutritionalists, doctors who come together, and they have stated in a study that I'll pop up somewhere on the screen that a vegan plant-based diet is healthy for all people at all stages of their life, including pregnancy, infancy, breastfeeding women, everybody, okay? This is a group of people who eat meat and, I don't know, maybe some of them may be plant-based. They are not biased at all. And for him to say that this science from these people, from this unbiased group of medical professionals and scientists is biased, who exactly is funding their research? Who? Dude, there is no vegan industry corporation. Beyond Meat is not going out and sponsoring the American Dietetics and Nutrition Association. Like, they're not doing that because it's not true. Like, he's trying to paint this picture that all of the research right now about how healthy a plant-based diet is biased. It has been supported by these plant-based vegan industries. That's absolutely not true. And while we're pointing fingers at who is conducting the biased research, it's the meat, dairy, and egg industry. Write that in there. It's just crystal clear.
It makes it extremely easy to just believe 100% that you are doing the right thing. And I'm not saying that it's a wrong thing, but it makes it easy not to question it and look at the opposite. Or
he said, not doing the wrong thing. You're doing the wrong thing, paying for animals to die when you know you can survive without eating their flesh. He knows that. He's been a vegan for 4 or 5 years now. He knows that.
Another different point of view. After looking into the Dietetics Association, corporate ties, all these...
Name them. Name them. You have all of our attention. Now is your time to tell us. Expose them. You have all of our attention. Expose them. What big broccoli, carrot, salad and corporation are backing up the American Dietetics Association? Tell us. Tell us. You have our attention, sir.
Different corruption that are going on. And looking at the science for, children especially, because this is the reason why I started questioning everything.
So, because I know it's really hard to keep up, what Jon is basically trying to say here is that children cannot be healthy on a plant-based diet without the need for supplementation of different vitamins and minerals, which is completely untrue. According to the Physicians Committee of Responsible Medicine, children who are on a plant-based diet reduce their chances of getting heart disease, cancer, obesity, diabetes, and other diseases. And I wonder if Jon is aware of this because we know he did all of his research. Yeah, right. That both the National Health Institute and the American Academy of Pediatrics both recommend children to supplement no matter what diet that they're on, including children who are breastfed. Again, if Jon was doing the proper research, he would know this. So clearly, since he's not stating this, it tells me, and hopefully you, that he did not do the correct research.
There is extremely little science, and I am not convinced at all by the science that is used to support those claims. And I'm
not a parent, but his son right now, mind you, is completely healthy, 100% healthy. So let me just go ahead and expose what I was going to expose in the beginning. If you're not following along very well, because I know it's really hard to understand what the hell he's trying to even translate to us, what Jon is trying to say is now that he is a father, he needs to be extra careful about the food that his child is consuming because he's now a father. He has responsibility to make sure that his son stays at optimal health, and I can understand that. But his kid is totally 100% healthy. And I know this because his wife made an entire huge monologue of an Instagram post explaining that their son is healthy. She even put it in a few of the comments when people asked them, like, your husband's saying that your kid's unhealthy. Like, can I know why or what's wrong with your kid, or like what issues you're having with your son's health? Because I'm a vegan mother raising vegan children and I haven't seen any issues. But if you, as a post or ex-vegan mother, are now seeing issues with your vegan child, we would like to know about it. As vegan moms, we would like to know. You know what she said? My son is perfectly healthy. There's nothing wrong with his health. So I don't know. I'm also not married, but if I were to, try to come, which I would never do this, but hypothetically, if I was a liar, like Jon clearly is, if I was a liar, and I was coming out with this huge lie, I would at least make sure that my wife or my boyfriend was on the same page as me, so that we're not clearly depicting two different stories, because people are not dumb. When you put a post out there, the entire world can see it, and people are not stupid. They will connect the dots. Okay, the wife is saying that the kid's not healthy, but Jon's saying that he can't be vegan because he's worried about his child's health. But didn't your wife say over here that your kid's perfectly, like, I highly advise the Venuses to get on the same page before they release some BS like this onto the internet, because we are not stupid. We are not stupid. Like, what?
And we respect him so much. We're all trying to come from a place of compassion and love and trying to make the world a better place. So I'm not saying, that this is a horrible and that I know that it's a...
We are. The vegans are trying to make this world a better place by not continuously killing trillions of animals every year for nothing more than the taste of their flesh. We are. The vegans, yes, are trying to make this world a better place. Him, I don't know what he's doing, but that's not it.
Dangerous thing. All I'm saying is that if I'm trying to be as objective as possible, this is not something that I, as a parent, as a father, am comfortable with.
Being objective as possible is looking at the research and listening to it. This man is not a scientist, nutritionalist, medical doctor. Being as objective as you possibly can is listening to the science, not anecdotal experiences, not what you think may happen. That is not being objective.
Missing, hundreds of thousands of years or even millions of years of a certain, eating pattern.
Okay, so originally I was going to let Jon slide for making this bizarre statement about eating meat because that's something humans have always done for millions and bazillions of years. But at this point, I just cannot let Jon spout any more of his nonsense at us or his audience. So what Jon is arguing here is something known as the appeal to history fallacy, or the appeal to tradition fallacy, which basically means that because our ancestors did something, we therefore have the justification to do the same thing. So with Jon's logic, it would still be okay for us to buy and own slaves, murder other people, steal land from the rightful owners, rape women, and strip women of their rights. Again, this is exactly what Jon is arguing in this argument right here. We should all know in the year of 2020 that we do not need to eat meat to live a healthy and thriving life. Jon also knows this and advocated for this same exact thing once upon a time when he was actually a vegan. So for him to bring up this argument now is completely belligerent of him and downright ridiculous.
And instead do something that requires supplementation to make possible, like B12, because again, I used to think that you could get B12 from the soil and water.
Oh my God. You guys, is Jon being serious? Because at this point, I just cannot tell. So if Jon would have done the very simple task of just asking his nutritionalist wife or his medical doctor brother about the research regarding B12 deficiencies and supplementation, he would have known and discovered that according to the Birmingham Offspring study conducted in the year 2000, found that 39% of the US population is vitamin B12 deficient. And no, this is not an exclusive vegan issue. The deficiencies were found across the board with people who have adopted all different types of diets, including meat eaters and including vegans. So again, vitamin B12 deficiencies is not an exclusive vegan issue. In fact, the only way that meat eaters receive their vitamin B12 supplementation is through the meat that they eat, because the meat that they eat has also been supplemented with vitamin B12. Yes, that is right. We supplement and inject cows, chickens, and pigs with vitamin B12 supplements, and then we eat their flesh, which gives us vitamin B12. So it's not like animals magically are producing this vitamin B12 supplement that can be found nowhere else in nature. No. They are supplemented with vitamin B12, and whoever chooses to gnaw on their flesh will receive the secondhand supplementation. So don't be fooled. There are plenty of plant-based sources that can provide you with vitamin B12, which I also believe that Jon knows, but is clearly being deceptive about his knowledge for whatever reasons.
For human beings, because I was coaching a lot of people, and I still will be coaching vegans and helping vegans to thrive, but I'm always coaching people and helping them transform their health and lives and getting better from chronic disease and all kinds of issues. And that just fed and confirmed my belief that the vegan diet is the optimal, the healthiest diet ever, right? But of course, this is not a long-term study. This is a intervention, a short-term intervention by coaching and by switching up their nutrition and fitness routines, lifestyle factors that play a role as well. So, I cannot be certain of the long-term implications of the diets just because it works extremely well.
If you cannot be sure about the long-term effects of a plant-based diet, why the hell are you trying to tell somebody else to live the lifestyle? If you cannot ensure that they will have optimal health and optimal physical outcomes because he's a fitness coach, why the hell are you going to continue to make money off of people's ignorance? Because that's what it is. If you buy in to stuff like this and you trust people that aren't even living the lifestyle that they're selling to you, that's a problem. That is totally a problem.
And helps reverse disease in the short term.
Oh my gosh. You guys, did this man seriously just say the short-term effects of a plant-based diet? Did Jon Venus seriously just say that? This man should be more than aware, being 4 to 5 years deep in the plant-based vegan community, that a plant-based diet has been proven on multiple occasions to prevent somebody's likelihood of contracting any of the 14 out of the 15 top killers amongst human beings.
All right, so where does that leave us? These are the top 15 causes of death, the top 15 reasons Americans die. And a plant-based diet can help prevent nearly all of them, can help treat more than half of them, and in some cases even reverse the progression of disease, including our top 3 killers.
Again, this man should be well aware of this fact at this point in his fake plant-based vegan journey. At this point, I am beyond disappointed in the way this man has handled this entire situation. The fact that he just lied about the benefits of a plant-based diet to his audience not only makes this man extremely deceptive, but extremely manipulative in his tactics about addressing his failure to stick to a plant-based diet.
People have, friends have kind of divorced themselves from me and like not wanting to have anything to do with me anymore. And this is like people who I thought were really good friends and other friends.
Wham. I know what kind of friends Jon has, okay? I know what kind of friends Jon has. They're vegans. They are people who are actual vegans, people that know what happens to animals and believe it is wrong, therefore they live a vegan lifestyle and abstain from supporting industries that thrive off of the backs of dead animals. I don't blame you, friends, and I don't feel bad for you.
Friends, really very close friends who said, you know, that that they respect my choice and everything like that, but they can't be seen with me publicly because that is bad for their image, because the vegan movement is so toxic and so judgmental.
The vegan movement is not toxic. The vegan movement is not toxic. What about knowing the truth is toxic, okay? Maybe these people just don't want to tolerate being around somebody who knows what happens to animals and just chooses to go like this. I don't care. I can't trust it. I just can't trust the science that a plant-based diet is healthy for me. So I don't really care what happens to animals because I don't want to listen to the science.
There's so many people that are so judgmental and have such superiority complex. I'm not scared of getting flack for any of this. I've done this, you know, several times in the past, and I just don't care. I'm just here sharing my opinions, and you know, if people want to take my clips out of context and try to make me look like a fool, that's fine.
People don't have to work that hard to make Jon Venus look like a fool. He's doing a very good job of doing that all by himself.
It's been done so many times before, 100 times before, and that's okay. People can do whatever they want to support their own biases and to feel superior to me or to any other.
Like, seriously, Jon, if you'll ever watch this video, when people bring it to your attention that the decision that you just made to no longer be vegan is kind of dumb, that's not a bias. That's just them knowing the truth and holding you accountable for knowing the truth but choosing to do otherwise because of science.
I'm proud for doing that and for taking responsibility for my family. I have no apologies to give to anyone. I think that this is a very, very good thing, and
No, you do. You do have an apology to give, and that's to the animals that you're now choosing to pay to have murdered. You do owe them an apology because you know better. He knows. That's what makes me so upset. Oh my God.
I think that you guys, you know, are in for a very interesting journey ahead if you want to follow along, because again, everything stays the same. We're still gonna try to
Everything stays the same except for the fact that I'm now paying people to stab animals in the neck with a knife. Everything else, though, is going to be the same. I highly fucking doubt that.
become the best versions of ourselves.
And I really don't think you could be the best version of yourself eating food that is literally on the cancer-causing list. You cannot be your best eating food that has been scientifically, unbiasedly proven to cause sickness in the human body. Like, you cannot be living your best life doing that. You just can't. You can think you are, but you're not. Medically and scientifically, you're not.
Together, and for you guys who don't want to follow along anymore just because I'm not vegan anymore, you know, that's okay. Peace out.
Peace out, Jon. Honestly, I was never a subscriber in the first place, and I'm not really drawn to like the whole like fitness vegan influencers because those ones tend to be the most shady. We saw that in Giovanna, we saw that in Elise Parker, and now we're seeing it in Jon Venus. We saw it in Tim Sheep. Can't let that one pass. Like if you are looking for somebody right now to follow living a vegan lifestyle, do not go for the vegan fitness influencers. Don't go for them because they're shady. They're not in it for the right reasons. They are not in it for the animals. Once they feel like they have maxed out with their gains, or once they don't feel like how they used to 5 years ago because they forget that we're supposed to age like everybody ages, they give it up and they blame it on the diet. That's the first thing that they blame. They don't blame the water that they were drinking or where they were living or the environment, both internally and externally, that they had, the people that they don't blame that on anything but the diet. That's the first thing that they look to. So if you're looking for somebody to follow regarding a vegan lifestyle, go straight for the vegan activist. Do not waste your time following vegan fitness influencers because those are the most shadiest ones. That's what I found. Anyways, let's get away from the response video. That is done, out of our sight. We're going to blend this cheesecake mix. I have some soaked raw cashews, strawberries, some frozen berries, some lemon juice, some maple syrup, and that's it. So now I'm just gonna process this and then I'll be back to place this blended into the crust, or onto the crust. All right, guys, so our cheesecake is in our dish, and I had a little bit extra, so I placed those in 2 little small glass containers. I'm gonna pop this into the fridge, leave it in there overnight. We're gonna reconnect in the morning and see if I have any new thoughts about this whole Jon Venus information, or if new information surfaces overnight, because the situation is pretty new. So sleep well. I'll see you in the morning. All right, you guys, so the part 2 from this video had horrible visuals. My camera never focused and everything just stayed super dark in my kitchen. So basically that's all that I had for this video. There's nothing else that really surfaced after I made the original video to my response of Jon Venus. The only thing that has happened since then is he posted a ridiculous selfie of himself on his Instagram, proclaiming that that was the very last picture he took as a vegan. And as you guys can all see, Jon looks pretty fine to me. His skin doesn't seem to be falling off of his skull. Everything seems to be intact, which tells me that this man leaving veganism and ditching the plant-based lifestyle was purely out of selfish reasons. Maybe sometime in the future he will actually explain to us the truth as to why he left this lifestyle. But until then, we'll just be living our best vegan lives. I hope to see you guys all again in the next video. If you guys like me doing these response videos, leave me a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next vid. Bye.